Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to review the beautiful You Can Be Pretty All Set palette. So this is an eyeshadow palette that also comes up with bronzer, highlighter and also blushes. So I've reviewed thoroughly and completely, and I've given you some in-depth review about this palette, and I've given you the complete verdict that what I think about this palette at the end of the video. So if this palette works, it's a great palette for traveling or just one palette for a beginner. Just buy it and you can use it. So this palette is RM80 in Shopee, but I've got this palette on a sale which only cost me 35 ringgit. So you can get them on sale, and I think frequently they do have sale on their page because recently I bought a palette for my sister and that was also on sale. So I think they do have sale frequently, so make sure you check that out. But before that, watch this video throughout to know whether this palette is worth it or not, because some of the product were bomb, like the best, and some of the product were like, what the hell was it? So you have to watch throughout to know which one works, which one don't work. Is that what you are looking for in a palette or in this particular palette? So now enough of blabbering and let's get into the video to see how I got this eye look and is it worth it to get this particular palette and also my face. So yeah, let's get into the video. Okay, first let's take a moment to appreciate their packaging. It's so pretty. It literally looks like an expensive eyeshadow palette, but I just bought it for 35. But yeah, they are 80 rings, so they are quite expensive. But for the price that I bought them, this is really pretty. So when you open the palette, you get all warm tones over here, and then you have beautiful like shimmer, and you have bronzer, blush and highlighter over here, and then you have like super colorful colors over here. So if this palette works great, then it's going to be great for traveling. Like if you want to create many different makeup looks, then it's just this big, you can just throw it and you're all set. Just bring your foundation and your lipstick and you're all set with this one palette. So we are going to quickly test out this palette right now. So my base is all done. I've got my foundation, my concealer, and I've set everything in place and with my lipstick. So I'm going to use whatever that it is in this palette, so we can test them out. Over here we do have our contour, blush and highlight. So this shade is great for contouring because it is cool tone, and this one is great for bronzing up your face because it has warm tone in it, so it's nice to warm up your face. And then we have two blush which is slightly more darker, and this is like pinky pink kind of blush. And then we have two highlighter, one is gold highlighter and one is silver highlighter, which is great. Like you can create so many different looks with just this face palettes over here. Okay, first I'm going to take this warm tone over here and just bronze up my face, and let's see how that is. It's super powdery. I don't know if I can't see anything literally, so I don't know, I just can't see anything. I took so much of product. Like, can you see so much of product in here? But like I'm not getting anything out. Let's get to the darker contouring shade and test that out for contouring because I think that would work. This is so dark. Oh my god, this is way too dark and this is way too pigmented. And honestly, this is powdery as well, but it's way too dark. I think you have to apply very little amount. Yeah, very little amount, not even this much. You have to reduce even more. So it's way too pigmented, so you have to take very tiny bit and you have to handle them very carefully when you want to apply it on your face. Okay, and they're also very dark, and they just don't give you that great contour effect. You can see it looks grayish. Like, can you see they don't look like that? It looks very muddy. I'm not liking the bronzer and contour as well. I was really having very high hope on this palette, but I don't know why. But now let's move into the blush. Seriously, it is super powdery. I just took a little amount and it is very powdery, so I have no idea yet for the eyeshadow. So let's see. Quickly, I'm going to take the pink blush. You can see it's very like pigmented and it is powdery too. So I think I'll look like a clown at the end of the day. What is this? I think it is way too pigmented. Like for a blush, it is like an eyeshadow formula, but it is like it don't has this great blendability to it, so it's not blending in. Can you see it's very patchy? It's very patchy. It's not blending into your skin. Oh my god, I had so much of hope on this palette, but I don't know why. Let's test the eyeshadow, like bronzer and highlighter. Maybe you can just use this one for eyeshadow, but I think after like so much of hard work, you can blend it. Like it takes so much of hard work. I'm literally pressing my brush like this. Only then I could blend everything. So not a fan of the blush either. Okay, so now let's move into the highlighter part. I think I'm going to take the gold, because the white, I'm really scared to use the white because it looks white. More than silver, it looks white. But I'm going to test out the gold. I hope at least this works. Okay, the highlighter is not very powdery. It's reasonably okay. So, what the hell? Oh my god, I think this palette is so worth it just for this highlighter. Can you see this? It is so pretty. Okay, like you can buy this palette for this highlighter. I can give you a guarantee. It's so pretty. Like that glow is like I'm ready to party anytime kind of a glow. Oof, it's so pretty. Okay, I'm giving a huge thumbs up for UCANBE for coming up with this great highlighter. I wish they have like separate highlighter. I have no idea whether they do have or not, but this highlighter is so pretty. Can you see the difference? Without and with. It's so pretty, so I'll give a huge thumbs up for the highlighter. So now let's get into the eyeshadow. Okay, we actually have so many different shades over here. So honestly, I can't be using every single shade in this, but I'll try to use like a few colors as possible. So I'm having an idea of doing a yellow, pink, purple, and then gold in the middle, so that I could play around with at least 4 to 5 colors. So the gold will be a nice shimmer because it's like a glitter over here. It's literally getting my eyes on from just now. So we are going to use that glitter as well. So now let's get into the eyes. Okay, so first for the transition shade, I'm going to use the warming up side and take this shade over here, which is more like powdery, great transition shade. I'm going to take that. Oh, it's very powdery. I'm definitely sure this palette is going to have a lot of dropouts, so it's way too powdery. Okay, so it looks powdery, so I'm going to blend it and see. I think they are more towards like my skin tone color, so they look like a powder on my skin. So I'm going to take a more darker shade. I'm going to take this shade over here. A lot of fallout is there in the palette. Okay. They blend great. for this price point, the blendability of this particular shade is good. Because I can't talk about the other shades, I don't know yet. But for this shade, the blendability is really good. Let's use yellow. I'm going to use this yellow over here. I'm going to apply it like this. Okay, well, it don't have like great pigment. It's just fair, like very fair. I think this color is great for like blending, but not like, like you just blend with other colors. This would be great. But so I'm taking this super bright pink. Okay, the pink has like, I think the pigmentation of this palette is very fair. They don't have like great pigment, but it's good. I think the pink is nice. Like to create an eye look, this pink color is nice, but not the yellow. So I don't think I'll be using this particular yellow to like get that, super yellow, like what do you say, like high fashion makeup looks. I don't think so. We can use this one. Maybe to just blend some colors together, we can use that. But otherwise, I don't think they work. So I think the blendability of the pink is also great. Like good. It's not the best, but you can work upon it. So it's not a big issue. So yeah, I'm liking this pink shade. It's also buildable. Not as the yellow color. Like it is buildable. So I'm liking that. So next I'm going to take purple. So I'm going to take this purple. The color looks pretty. So I'm just going to... even this looks pretty. Can you see? Like this color has great pigment to it and they blend quite easily as well. You don't have to press, you just have to blend it slightly and it blends well. So I think I started off with the wrong color. Like I shouldn't have gone to yellow. Like it was just, calling me like, try me, I'm yellow. But no, they don't work. But I think, yeah, even purple is good. They blend well. The color looks pigmented. Yeah. Okay, it's good. Like the yellow is completely gone, so just forget about the yellow. Just assume that yellow is not like found in this palette. But the purple is great, the pink is great. So now I think I'm going to go in with, what color should I go in with? Okay, I think I'm going to use this dark blue and I'm going to smoke out at the end. Okay, so I'm just doing a very random eye look just to test out this palette. Oh, this blue looks great. Wow. This is like pigmented. Okay, and I do believe these colors blend pretty well. Like these colors blend like, okay, pretty well. Even if you're a beginner or you just wants to play with makeup, you wants to try makeup, I think this palette is great from the colors that I've used now, blue, purple, pink. It's good. Like you can blend them easily. It's not very hard to blend. And the color mix up really well as well. Can you see, like they mixed up really well? They looks like a rainbow. So the color does blend really well and I'm liking this. I think I'm going to take this orange and blend it at the inner corner, like the place where I had the yellow. So at least let's test out this orange. The orange is pigmented. Like, can you see? Yeah, they are pigmented. I think the yellow is the only color which is not pigmented in this palette. And unfortunately, I took that first. And I had like bad impression to the palette. But I think the orange is also great. I am really liking the blendability of the palette. I don't have to really blend too many times. It blends easily. And it just looks like a rainbow. Like it just blends great, and I really like about that. So I think if you're a beginner, this is a great palette to try with. Okay, I'm going to take this pink and apply it. Oh yeah, like I'm just trying to incorporate all the colors and trying to get some looks which I have no idea about. So I do believe all the other colors which are in this palette are great, good, nice and pigmented, and I don't think I have fallout, which is so surprising, like seriously, because from what you get in this palette, like it's a little powdery, it's actually a little powdery, but it is better compared to what you get in the contour or like the blush. But the eyeshadow is a little powdery, but they don't have fallout till now. I've used so many colors on my eyes, you can see I've used so many colors and I've blended all, and there is no fallouts at all, like at all, literally, which is great because even expensive palettes have a lot of fallouts, and that is so bad. Like some, because I love to do my eyes last after I do my base, so I hate fallouts. So I think this palette is great, they don't have any fallouts, it's great. So I think it's enough of doing all this blending over here, and I'm going to take this. Okay, let's take this shimmer gold first, and I'm going to apply it from here to here. So I'm just going to do like I'm cutting my crease. Wow, I'm really liking this shimmer. For this price, this shimmer is great. Can you see? They looks really nice and pigmented. Now I'm going to take this one, which is a glitter, not a shimmer, it's a glitter. So I'm going to take, oh, they are this, oh, they're like gel, like pressed glitter, so they're like gel. So I'm just going to apply it over this. Wow, I'm looking like I've got some super glam look. Wow, I love the pigment in the shimmer and also in the glitter. It's so pretty. So now for the lower lash line, we do have a black over here, because any palette I would definitely test out a black shadow. Since we have already gone with like blue over here, I thought of going with a little black. Okay, I'm going to like smoke out my lower lash line like this. So just kind of like this. The black is really pigmented, so I think I'm just going to smoke out a little bit over here just to make the color looks nice and blended. Okay, the black is like really pigmented, so I'm going to take this purple. Okay, and now for my inner corners, I'm going to take, let's take what shade? Okay, I'm going to take this shade over here, and I'm going to highlight my inner corners. Wow, they look like a pretty highlighter. So I'll finish my eyes and get back right now. And I'm back with my eyes done. So here is my final verdict about this beautiful palette. So first, let's start off with the positive points. I love the highlighter. It is one of the best highlighters that I've ever tried. They look very creamy, they don't look powdery at all. Even the texture in the palette doesn't look powdery. For the highlighter, it looks nice and creamy, and when you apply it looks creamy, it looks blinding. It's one of the best highlighters that I've tried. Like seriously, I love this highlighter. I would give 100 over 100 for this highlighter. It's a great thumbs up from my side. And then about the eyeshadows, the colors blend in so easily. You just need to take the color, just blend it. I think these are perfect for like traveling, because you just need to take the color and just blend them easily because they blend easily for this price point. The blendability of the color is great. And then the next thing is the pigmentation is also great. It's not super pigmented just like this very expensive palettes, but they are fairly pigmented to give you a nice eyeshadow look. Apart from that yellow, all the other colors were really pigmented. The shimmers was really nice, and the glitter is so beautiful. Like, this palette is great to create a fancy eye look, to a daily eye look, to a party eye look, to a even like a high fashion eye look. So it's a great palette for all of it. And then the next great point that I think is they don't have fallout at all, like at all. My under eye is so clean without any fallouts. Like, can you see it's so clean, which don't happen with most of the eyeshadows. I was really surprised because when I took the eyeshadow from the palette, it was very powdery, but when I applied, there is no any fallouts, and I was surprised. Like, I don't understand why, but they were powdery in the palette, but when I applied, there is no any fallouts. So it's like a magic to me because that never ever happened before with me with any eyeshadow palette. So if it's powdery, it's going to have fallout, but I don't know why. I've used so many different colors like you saw just now, but they don't have any fallout, which is great, and great for an eyeshadow for this price point. No fallout, blendability is great, the pigmentation is fairly pigmented, and it is also great. So it's a great thumbs up from my side. And now let's talk about the drawback of this palette, which is obviously these two things which linked with the face products, the blush and the bronzer or the contour products, which totally didn't work for me. I think the pink was not blending up well. I don't understand because the eyeshadow blends in so well. I don't understand why their blush didn't blend easily, and it looks very pink, very pigmented, so it was a bit off for me. I'm not liking that blush. And also when it comes to the contour, the warmer shade was almost, I don't know, they don't have any pigments at all. When I picked, there was some color, but when I applied, I can't see anything. I can barely see anything. So that was also a no for me. And also the contour shade, that was also very dark, and it's super pigmented that it makes your face looks very dark when you apply it. And also it looks muddy. The shade looks very muddy when I apply it on my face. Maybe for my skin tone that doesn't suit, maybe that could happen like that. So from my side, it's a no from me. So that bronzer, contour, blush is a complete no from me. But all the other stuffs from the palette are super great. The shimmers, the glitters, the colorful eyeshadows, everything was great except that yellow, because I used so many different shades and everything was great. Even the orange was pigmented except that yellow. Like, maybe that yellow could be great for blending more than applying just as an eyeshadow, or you can use like a water spray or some pigment sprays to get more pigment out of the palette to work with colors like that. But otherwise, I think this palette is definitely getting a winning from me for the price point. For 80 ringgit, maybe for the eyeshadows I'll say yes, and also for the highlighter it's definitely a yes. For that price point, you get such a good blendability, you don't have fallouts, and the color choice is amazing. You can create so many different looks. This is great option for you. So I would highly recommend you to get this palette, except for the face part. But for the highlighter, definitely, maybe you just want to use highlighter, you can also get this palette. I have no idea whether they do have like anything just as the highlighter. Maybe I should check that out because it is so pretty. I'm loving the highlighter. I love a creamy highlighter, and this is definitely it. So I've already told you so many times, but I would definitely recommend you to get this palette to get so many different looks. Even if you're a beginner, you can try practicing makeup with this palette. It is great, it blends great, it's so good. So now, yeah, and I hope you really learned something from this, and I hope you got the best review, and I try to give you as much as possible that I know from this palette. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.